Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushak, choose what really matters.
Hello and welcome to Gravitas. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. We're right in front of the White House. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in DC yesterday and he has begun his official engagements today. He's holding a total of 8 meetings in a day. It promises to be an action-packed day, and WION will be broadcasting live non-stop for the next 90 hours. So make sure you stay tuned to WION. We'll be covering all the events. We'll be tracking every development for you as it happens. Let's begin with a recap of what has happened so far. Prime Minister Modi arrived in Washington, D.C. last evening. He landed at Joint Base Andrews. This is a military facility. It serves as the home base for Air Force One. That's the plane that the American president uses to fly. Officials from the US State Department and diplomats from the Indian Embassy received Prime Minister Modi. A group of Indian Americans was also present. This was Wednesday evening local time. Thursday morning, that is today, began with early engagements. The Prime Minister has met 5 leading American CEOs. The agenda was to highlight economic opportunities in India. Now, 2 of these executives are Indian Americans. There's Shantanu Narayan from Adobe, the computer software company, and Vivek Lal from General Atomics. It's a major player in energy and defense. CEOs of Qualcomm, Blackstone and First Solar were also invited. All 5 got individual FaceTime with the Prime Minister. Later in the day, key bilaterals are lined up. The Prime Minister will meet 3 leaders. First is Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison, then we have Vice President of the US Kamala Harris, and then Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. There's a lot to discuss with all of them. Here's what we can expect in these engagements. With Scott Morrison, the Australian PM, AUKUS will top the agenda. The Australia-UK-US, AUK-US AUKUS Security Pact. Remember, Morrison had briefed Prime Minister Modi about this alliance before it was formally announced last week. Now, the 2 leaders could use this opportunity to discuss ways to expand cooperation. Bilateral trade is expected to come up. Reports say India and Australia are mulling a free trade agreement that could also be discussed. The next meeting is with Kamala Harris, the Vice President. Prime Minister Modi is meeting her today. He's meeting the President of the US tomorrow. India has a lot to talk about with the Americans. For starters, the situation in Afghanistan. The botched-up exit by the Americans has created a major security challenge for India. Then we have Wuhan virus vaccines, climate change, the Indo-Pacific. All of these subjects could come up in the discussions that will follow. And then we have the last meeting of the day. This is with Yoshihide Suga, the Prime Minister of Japan. Both leaders could discuss Chinese aggression in their backyards at length. They could talk about joint collaboration on infrastructure projects, cooperation on trade, healthcare, security. All of this is expected to be brought up. But beyond issues of mutual interest and bilateral interest, these meetings are about finding common ground before that all-important Quad summit that happens tomorrow. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushak, choose what really matters.